Sasa wakakamata mikono, wanaenda koyora, wanaleta mikono, wanakunywa, wanasema kunywa pombe, kunywa.
And right then they started forcing him to drink alcohol.
Kwa hiyo sasa wakasema mkubwa yao akabambia mwende mulete na bibi yake.
And then their commander told them, now go and fetch his wife.
Sasa kwa ile wakasema hapa fasi yote unaona wanipiga kusudi Mungu wanivunja fasi yote, mimi niko mulema.
Those that he just showed are the scars from the beatings. They just beat him up, and actually his bones got broken at several points. Now he is lame.
Sasa kwa hiyo wakati walisema wende walete bibi yangu, wakasema huyu mumalize.
And by the time the commander told one of the guys to fetch his wife, at the same time they were telling the ones who were torturing him to just finish him up, just do away with him now.
Wakasema simama, wakanisimamisha.
They told him to stand up on his feet, and he did.
Sasa wakanifunga kamba mikono nyuma.
And then he was forced to stand with the hands tied up behind his back.
Walikuwa ameshakata damu iko inavuja sana.
And his fingers were already chopped up, as you can see, and there was a lot of blood that was coming out.
Wakanipiga kitu, nisikia walipiga kitu hapa nyuma, nikaanguka chini.
He just had something hitting him. They hit him with something at the back of his head, and he fell down. Right from that point, he fell down, and he doesn't remember anything else from that point when he fell down. He was unconscious. And for them, they thought they had finished him. He was dead.
Sasa mimi kuamuka, wakati nimeamuka niko
when he woke up, he just found himself in a small clinic in the village. And he started asking people, where am I? Which place is this? How did I get here? People started narrating to him that it was the Red Cross guys who brought you and just dumped you in the clinic. And these guys were also now in the hiding, because whatever they did was it was criminal against him. So they ran away, but the people who were narrating his story couldn't go the full length. They were also afraid because of the situation. They couldn't say it all because they were afraid they might be arrested, or they might be forced maybe to say something about whatever had happened to him. They feared to get involved, so they couldn't say so much. Where they were residing in the DRC, there was no humanitarian organization that was helping people. There were NGOs that came to help the people in his area, but because of the constant insecurity, at some point they had to leave the area and just go. Instead, the NGOs that would have helped them were now forced to reside in the town areas because of the insecurities in the village. They couldn't live in the village to help the people, maybe by providing medical aid and things like that, including the Red Cross. And in the clinic, when he regained his conscience, people started narrating to him how he was brought here, and the state in which he was, the point at which he was, and they told him, you were more of a dead person, you were more of a dead body. We didn't know that you could even wake up to start seeing again. When he was still in the clinic being treated, the people, the rebels who had tortured him earlier, who thought he was dead, actually found out that he was in the clinic still alive. There was a teacher with whom they used to teach together in the village, who also met him in the clinic, and he told him, do you know what? The guys who had tortured you earlier, who thought you were dead, have found out that you are actually alive in the clinic, and they are planning to come and get you right in the clinic and finish you up. So what you do, get out of the clinic and run for your life. He hadn't healed really well, and the teacher started narrating to him what had happened in his home, back home. And he said he just sneaked out of the hospital without letting anyone know. And he went to this teacher friend of his and hid there, and just hid in the friend's house for some time. After completing 1 week in the hiding place, which was his teacher friend's house, and the friend also started fearing for his life.
Sasa akasema umejua kitu nyingine inafaa uondoke hapa uende ujifiche ndani kwenye unajua kwenye walikuwa kunakuwa kwetu mashimo yenye zinapita ndani
the friend started fearing, what if they find out that you are in my house? And so what he did, he advised him to go hide in a certain hole that had been dug there. Like initially it was kind of a burial place, but there was that particular pit that was empty. So his friend advised him to go hide there, and then he would sneak with the food. He would go stealthily and give him food while he was in this pit, in the bush, not in the house. This friend advised him. They went right in the bush where this pit was, and the friend told him, stay in this pit, I'll go away. If I get something to eat, I'll bring it for you. And if you don't see me for some time, please don't think I have forgotten about you. I still remember you. I know that you're hiding somewhere right in the bush. And so the friend went back. From time to time, he would come back with something to eat and just give it to him stealthily in the pit, and just run away very fast before people would detect that someone was hiding. And sometimes the friend wouldn't bring anything to eat because there were people who were watching. So he would get so scared to bring something to eat, and so he would remain hungry in that pit. In that pit, he finished almost 6 months. He started living in the bush like any other animal, and it affected his skin because it was deep in the bush among thorns. He lived like an animal. It was a very scaring place. The bushes were so thick. Each time he would stretch, there was some cutting from the bushes, from the thorns, from the grass, and so he just lived in there like just another animal. After the 6 months, there was rumor going around. The teacher friend came to him and told him, do you know what? You better think about somewhere else to go and hide, because there's word going around that they are planning a massive search. The rebels are planning to do a massive search in the name of finding you hiding somewhere, and should they find you here this time, you will surely die. Now, word started going around. It was now from the government, a statement that any place that looked bushy, anything that was a garden, a field that was not cultivated, that wasn't flat, was going to be searched out in the name of trying to find out if the rebels hiding that were disturbing the government forces. And they planned this massive search. Now the plan was to go cut every grass, cut every tree, just smash down every plantation, such that there wouldn't be any rebels hiding around to disturb the government forces. And he asked the friend this one more last time that they met in secret, and he asked the friend, now what next am I going to do with myself? And the friend told him, what you do, just get out of here and try possible means of seeing that you cross the border to Uganda. And the friend told him maybe another nearest place. So he asked the friend which other nearest country, which other country is nearest from where they were. And the friend told him there wasn't another. The nearest at this point was Uganda only. That was the only alternative to get out of the DRC. The friend sent him off with a bottle of water to drink. He walked 5 days, but he would only walk at night for fear of being found. He walked 5 nights, and every time, whenever it is daytime, he would hide somewhere in the bush. And at night, he would start his journey, trying to trace the nearest border to Uganda, the nearest outlet to Uganda. And he walked until he reached the border at a place called Bunagana. He didn't follow the main road where there were checkpoints at the border. He just passed using, he followed the small routes and crossed the border to Uganda.